I'm Starborn. Remember to be a star. You have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's what stars shine brightest. Today's show, if you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you'd already know the title was Revival. And no, I didn't mean a party or anything like that. What I mean is that the way the planets are set up this week, there could be a revival, a really good one for you, that could help you renew an old hope or a dream or something that you'd always wanted to do. And that would be great. I mean, it could even be something that you'd sort of given up on, but maybe something could work out now. So that would be nice. So a revival that is a very hopeful one. But there are two kinds of revivals that could occur this week. The other one is not like that at all. In fact, the other one can depict a revival, but it would be a revival of something that could have been a former horrifying event or occasion over a period of time that may have engulfed the whole world in a horrible way. And so we're going to have to look at what can be indicating that wonderful, hopeful revival of an old hope or wish or even a secret dream that you've always had. That's possible. And then I'm going to explain why. There could also be something that we're on the brink of that could be a horrifying event that may be repeating itself from the past. And that's why it's a revival. So the first revival that can be so hopeful right now and has a good chance of success in your life is because now we have planets that are in all four elements. The four elements are fire, air, earth, and water. We haven't had any planets in fire signs for a little while, but now we have planets in all the elements, and in fact, there are planets in each element that are trining each other. And a trine is a very good aspect. It means the energy of both planets is flowing unrestricted, and they're sort of helping each other out right now. And that is why you could get some help in making a dream or a hope or a wish come true. And that's entirely possible, because there are four planets in the water signs right now, and they are the Sun at 24 degrees of Scorpio, which is conjuncting Mercury, the planet of the mind and of communication, which is at the fateful 29th degree of Scorpio. And so there is some word or some thought or some justice that's going to be going on that we could find out about soon. But those two planets are very harmoniously trining Jupiter, which is also at the 29th degree of fate in Pisces, and Neptune, the ruler of the sign, which is in Pisces and is conjuncting Jupiter. So the Sun and Mercury are conjuncting in Scorpio, and Jupiter and Neptune are conjuncting in Pisces, and they're trining each other. This is occurring in the healing water signs, and all four planets are trining the sign of Cancer as well. So there can be some renewed hope or even a dream coming true. And if it's not happening to you, it could be happening to somebody that you're close to. So that would be a wonderful thing too. And it would involve a sort of a getting over things, a healing type of thing, or having greater understanding about things. But it would also involve justice as well. And then there are two planets in the earth signs trining each other, and they are Uranus, which is in Taurus and it's retrograde, but it is trining a powerful Pluto in Capricorn, which is direct. And Pluto in Capricorn rules people at the top in positions of responsibility in even governments or large corporations or institutions. And they can be very serious about financial matters right now, because Taurus is a financial sign. But both planets are also trining the sign of Virgo, which rules your job and your health as well. And accountability. And so those things can be highlighted. And then there are 2 planets in the air signs. And these 2 planets, they're sort of strong-arm planets because they're called malefic planets. And that is because Mars is retrograde in Gemini, and it is trining Saturn, which is now direct in Aquarius, the sign of the future. And both very strong planets are trining the sign of Libra as well, which rules partnership. So there is a legal or a partnership issue that's got a lot of backbone behind it. And that for that reason, possibly a hope or a dream or a wish could come true. I mean, maybe finally it's time for that, which would be good. So there can be a legal issue that can be resolved. And that's because people are willing to face facts and communicate and do something about it. Well, that's good. It's better than fighting. And so something can get over. And that would be somebody's dream, to have some controversy end. That would be great. And then the last 2 planets that are trining each other are the moon today, which is in Leo, and it is trining Venus, which has just entered Sagittarius. In fact, it's at 0 degrees of Sagittarius today. And both of those planets are also trining the sign of Sagittarius. And so it's possible that people can react a little bit more quickly or dynamically to something, and even if it's an old hope and dream of yours that is on the verge of coming true, it would be at this time also representing a new beginning. And that's good. That's good for everybody. I mean, we pretty much didn't do too much during 2 years of that pandemic. And so these aspects, with all 10 planets trining, are being trined by some other planet in all of the elements, means that a revival can occur now in your life. Where it doesn't mean a revival from the past either. It might be that you can sort of say to yourself, well, now I'm ready to get going in a new direction. Or now these circumstances are right. Or now people are willing to listen. And so that's why that kind of revival is actually very well aspected, because it could be very harmonious. And it could be harmonious among people that hadn't been too agreeable before, but maybe they just decide, okay, let's try it. And that could work out pretty well. However, remember I mentioned there's another kind of revival? And it is because today we are having something very rare occurring in the heavens. And it's so rare that I can't remember the last time it happened. I mean, I've been doing this a while, so I know it must have happened before, but I can't remember when. Because what we have now is we have a very rare grand cross among 5 planets that are all in fixed signs. And fixed signs don't budge. And 5 is 50% of all the planets in the heavens. And this revival could represent a clash. And that's because all 5 of these planets are not getting along. And so we have that Sun and Mercury, which are conjuncting in Scorpio, which rules war, but it also rules justice and survival. And those 2 planets, which are in a fixed financial sign, are opposing Uranus, which is retrograde in Taurus. And Uranus is a very volatile, malefic planet, and it is very unstable. It represents sudden, surprising change. These 3 planets in the fixed financial signs are also being harshly squared by 2 other planets. Leo in the moon in Leo is squaring them, and Saturn in Aquarius, which rules the future, is also squaring them. And so we have these 5 planets coming up against each other, and not a single one of them wants to budge or get along or give an inch. And so we need to look a little bit more closely about, okay, what would the outcome of this be? And if we're talking about revival right now, which I think we are, the type of revival that would occur under this configuration may be traced to where some of the planets were when something horrifying happened. And actually, it gets down to that unstable Uranus, that malefic planet in Taurus. It is retrograde, and Uranus takes a very long time to get around a person's chart. And that is because it stays in a sign for 7 years. It's not leaving Taurus until 2025. And so, what was happening the last time Uranus was in Taurus? Because there's a lot of people that wouldn't have any idea of that except from a history book, because it takes 7 years through one sign, and there's 12 signs. So it takes 84 years to get around your chart even once. And that means on your 84th birthday, you are finally going to have a Uranus return. It will return to the spot it was at the time you were born, when you're 84. So, what happened the last time that Uranus was in Taurus? Let's take a look at that. Maybe that will explain what kind of revival could be going on today under these tense planets in fixed signs. Well, I tried to tell you at the start of the year, and I tried to tell you, every time I sort of hit on Taurus, that Uranus was in Taurus between the years of 1935 and 1942. And in that time, there were two major horrifying events that affected the whole world. Remember, Taurus is a fixed financial sign. And in 1935, it was the Great Depression, which engulfed the whole world. But by 1942, it was World War II. And that too engulfed the whole world. So do you see what kind of revival we are on the verge of now with these 5 planets in a very rare grand cross, not getting along? We really are at a crossroads right now. And the question is, are we going to go harmoniously forward? Because the stars are with you if that's what you want to do. And you could make a hope or a wish or a dream come true now, and there could be plenty of other people that want to do that too. So that's entirely possible from all the planets that are trining each other in the 4 elements. But, so that would represent you going forward. So you have a choice now. You can go forward, even if it is reviving an old dream. You'd still be doing it today with the hope of a better future for tomorrow. So you can do that. That's one kind of revival. So for the optimists that want to go forward and give more energy to reviving a hope or a wish or a dream and making it come true, which is entirely possible, I think that you are very close to being on the verge of success, that you will make it. And yet you still need to be patient. There are 4 retrograde planets. But as long as you're willing to go forward and revive or make an old dream come true, I think you can do it. And I think that could make you and probably someone else very happy. But for the people who want to participate in something horrifying, as if history was repeating itself. In other words, these people want to control others. They want to enslave them. They want to make sure, even, I think, without having any kind of conscience at all, they would be perfectly willing to perform bestial acts upon mankind. And so we are faced with a kind of revival right now under these 5 planets in a rare grand cross among fixed signs, none of which are getting along. that we have to look back in history and say, okay, what happened the last time a slow planet was in a sign? And Uranus is the slow one, the slowest one of them all. And so we could be on the verge of some sort of financial recession or depression, which would affect the whole world. And we also could be on the verge of another world war, because it could happen again. And so we have to decide, whose side we're on, or how we want to live our lives. Because the revival of a horrifying event would impact the happiness and the future of all mankind. I mean, that's a high price to pay, isn't it? Too high. And also, for anybody that wants to get into anything like that and cause some sort of financial collapse or cause another world war, I hope they remember what happened the last time. Because when you get into a world war, sooner or later it's going to end. And there's only going to be one victor. There's a winner and a loser. And the stakes are so high, the loser could be a big one. Really big. And so could the winner. The winner could be a big winner. But who wants to go all that way, to prove a point? So we have a choice. We're at a crossroads. You can choose to be in harmony with people, get along with them, make a dream come true. I think that could work. But if you just wanted to repeat history, if an overriding greed or an overriding hunger to control others, even to the point of war, is what's on your mind, you're taking all of mankind with you, and there's no guarantee you'll win at all. In fact, if people wanted to really get in a big fight right now, there would be no winners. Not immediately. And yet there's 4 planets and water signs, and they're the healing signs. We can choose to heal now and to get over things. And we can choose to help others. Or we can get real mean about it. And then there won't be any winners. None. Remember, fixed signs don't budge. Okay, so on that note, I do hope that when you're looking at revival, which is what I think we're looking at now, I hope you choose the high road, because that could lead you to greater happiness. And the low road is only going to get you lower. Okay, what does this mean to Aries? Aries. Well, Aries, you're in a better spot now than you used to be, and that is because the moon today in Leo is trining your sun, and Venus just went into Sagittarius, and it too is trining your sun. And so that simply means that you've got the possibility of making something happen right now, Leo. Maybe you can make a dream come true. Maybe you have a dream and all you needed was sort of to get in gear and go for it. And now possibly you can. The moon is the fastest mover of all the planets, so it's only going to be in Leo for 2.5 days. I would take advantage of that, have some fun. Think about traveling, because Sagittarius rules long distance travel and higher education, and Venus is there now. And Venus is at 0 degrees. It's going to be there for a while. So Aries, you have an opportunity to move forward and sort of do it your way. And Aries is the sign of the pioneer. So I think that you should branch out on your own and sort of go for something right now, Aries. Just make sure it's not a horrifying event, because there's no winners on that one. But otherwise, I think that if you wanted to travel, Or if you wanted to start something new, or you even wanted to take a class and improve your skills, you could do it. I think it would work out real well. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Taurus. Well, Taurus, as I said, Pluto in Capricorn is direct and is trining Uranus in your sign. So you have the choice right now of reviving an old dream, or a hope, or a wish of yours that you sort of want to make come true. And you could do that with the help of somebody who's pretty high up, or is very influential in an organization, and maybe you need their recommendation or their backing for something. You could probably get it now, Taurus, which would be good. Or there is the possibility that you want to improve your health. Both Uranus in your sign and Pluto in Capricorn are trining the sign of Virgo, which does rule health. Or if there is an accounting that you have to do now, because it's getting close to year end and taxes will be due, that too could work out, as long as you were dealing with very reputable people that could help you. So that's good. So that's all on the plus side, Taurus. I hope you go that route. Because yours is a fixed sign. And so Uranus in your sign is being opposed by the Sun and Mercury in Scorpio, and it is being squared by Saturn in Aquarius. Saturn is another malefic planet, and so is Uranus. That's not too good. And it's also being squared by the Moon in Leo. And so, Taurus, at the very least, someone that you care about, or something that you care about, say something you want to buy, is going to cost you more than you think, Taurus. It's going to be a little pricey, a little more than your budget perhaps can afford. But you're a good hard worker, Taurus. Maybe you have some extra money around, or you can sell an investment, and maybe that can help you make a dream come true. So I hope you take the high road right now, Taurus, because you are one of the people that, should you decide that you are going to dig in, and Taurus is the sign of the bull. They can be a little forceful when they want to. And should you decide that that's what you want to do, sort of like get tough about something, I urge you to think twice, because you will not be the winner. You could cause a lot of problems, and you could say, well, I'm causing these problems, it looks like I'm winning, but it's not going to work out that way. This rear grand cross in fixed signs is going to hurt all the fixed signs if they decide they want to dominate or control or tell other people what to do. So it may take longer to get what you want, and you may have to employ a little more diplomacy, and you need to sort of take your time. There's still 4 retrograde planets. So if I were you, Taurus, I would take the longer, patient route right now to get what you want. That way you probably will get what you want eventually. But if you decide you're really going to go at it right now, you'll lose. And you don't have to believe me. Go ahead and try it, Taurus. You'll lose. It's either going to cost you something very dear to you, or it's going to cost you an awful lot of money, more than you've got. So I would back away from that. Try to ease up on the throttle, Taurus, if you get angry at somebody, because it's not going to do you or them any good. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Gemini. Well, Gemini, this is a time when you could feel like you sort of want to make your point. And you could, because Mars is retrograde in your sign, and it is trining Saturn in Aquarius, and together both planets are trining the sign of Libra as well. So Mars can be a very energetic planet. You may want to make a point with people, or you may want to do a presentation that you're very well organized on, and that you are sort of ready to go on. You could do that. You could have the backing of somebody pretty important behind you as well, because Saturn is trining that Mars in your sign. These are 2 malefic planets, but they happen to be getting along right now. And so you can be very effective in communication as long as you're being nice about it, Gemini. Well, Mars is not known for that. Mars is known for aggression. So I would not, I would throttle back a little bit right now, Gemini. And just remember, you want to make peace, or you want to make better partners, or you want to give other people the benefit of the doubt right now. I hope, because everybody can succeed harmoniously in making some wish or hope or dream come true right now. But I'll tell you, the revival of an old wish or hope or dream is dependent upon how you communicate what it is and what you want and how you treat others. And Gemini, you're very good at that. Gemini rules sales. Geminis are very good at promoting anything. Just don't go overboard, is all I'm saying. Don't push too hard, Gemini, because you might alienate a few people, and you don't need to. I mean, you're out to make partners. You're out to have peace. You're out to make a dream come true. And so include others in your plans and make them feel important too. That way you'll all succeed. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Cancer. Well, there are 4 planets in the water signs all trining each other right now, Cancer. So they're trining your sign too. That's good, because the Sun and Mercury's at the fateful 29th degree in Scorpio, are trining your Sun. So you should be able to hear some rather fateful news. The Mercury rules news and communication. So you should be getting some sort of word or notice that you have been waiting on for a while. And it should be favorable, Cancer, which is nice. It could involve more money or the prospect of more money coming your way, which is nice too. And then Neptune and Jupiter in Pisces, and Jupiter is also at the 29th degree of fate in Pisces, are both trining your Sun as well. So you've got 4 dynamic planets, 2 of which are fateful planets because they're at the 29th degree, but in trine to each other. That's great. So that simply means that behind the scenes, Cancer, you really could make a dream come true. Or there's somebody who's going to help you make that dream come true. But it looks to me like it's going to happen. Yours is not a fixed sign. You're not caught up in that really horrible, rare Grand Cross in fixed signs. So I think, without having to do too much more, Cancer, there could be a dream or a secret wish of yours that could come true now. And at the same time, there could be some more money coming your way, or news about justice or a financial matter that benefits you, Cancer. So, congratulations. Lucky you. I hope you enjoy the revival of a secret wish or hope or dream of yours, because it does look like it is headed your way. Just remember, there's still 4 retrograde planets. You got to be patient, but I think you're going to have a smile on your face, Cancer, when all is said and done. I think that's going to make you happy. Congratulations. What does it mean to a Leo? Leo. Well, Leo, yours is a fixed sign. And Leo rules leadership. And Leos like to be in control. They like to be out there ahead of everybody. They like to be captain of the team. And Leo does rule sports. And it rules love affairs, and it rules children, and it rules gambling and horse racing and having a lot of fun. And the moon is in your sign, Leo, and so, you can probably be enjoying all of that right now, which is fine, except that it won't last. And the reason why is that Saturn in Aquarius is opposing that moon, which means Saturn sometimes represents authority figures or fathers, and the moon represents mothers or women's issues. And something in your future plans is not going to work out the way you wish it would, Leo, but that's the way it goes. There's going to be a change in your future plans. It doesn't necessarily have to be really bad. Just remember, there's other planets in fire signs now. Venus has just gone into Sagittarius, and it's trining that moon in your sign, which is good. So, you know, you may not get everything you want right now, Leo, but still, you could be around more harmonious people, and your future plans would have to change. But that may not be a really high price to pay to be happy. It's just you can't have everything your own way. That's the point. Got to be a little bit more of a team player now, Leo. And if you are, you could meet some pretty nice people, and that would change your future plans, but how do you know? It might be for the better. You could give that a try. And then there are 4 planets in the fixed financial signs, and they all square your sun. So Uranus in Taurus is squaring the moon in your sign, Leo, but the sun and Mercury in Scorpio are also squaring the moon in your sign. So when the sun and moon square or oppose each other, that is the sign of indecision or confusion. So you may not really quite know which way to go right now. And I would suggest that you take the less expensive route. In other words, do something at a lower cost, or you might be unhappy in your job. Well, change to another job where you're not earning as much money, but you could be a whole lot happier. That's worth it to you, isn't it, Leo? I hope so. I mean, your happiness counts too. And so the reason I mention that is because Uranus in Taurus, first of all, the financial signs are part of this horrible, rare Grand Cross in the fixed signs, but the planets in the financial signs are so harshly aspecting your sun sign that you need to cut down on expenses, Leo. This should not be an extravagant holiday period for you, because you know, whether your investments are going up or going down, they're at least unstable either way, and you shouldn't count on them. And that's why you need to be a little bit more economical as we head into the holidays, and a little less domineering or a little less forceful. You may have the answers to a lot of things. I mean, you know, you could have figured out the whole game plan for something, but others are not going to buy it. So I wouldn't say too much right now, Leo. In this rare Grand Cross of fixed signs, there are no winners. Just remember that. And step back, or step down, or spend less money. And you might enjoy it, Leo. You really might enjoy it. Have a quiet holiday. And try to get some rest. The stars are more agreeable to you now than they have been in the last couple of weeks, because both Venus in Sagittarius and then the moon in your sign are trining each other. So there are opportunities for harmony now, Leo, but you have to go along with that. You know, not dominate it, but go along with it. And it could be little by little, and there could be delays, but that might get you what you want in the end. So try to throttle back if you can. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Virgo, this is a time when you could have friends in high places that would be more than willing to do you a favor, Virgo. And that's because they really believe in the way you work, which is pretty hard. Virgos do their duty. Virgos watch all the details. Virgos like to see things add up. Your sign rules accounting, Virgo. So this is a time of accountability. And if somebody is looking over your track record, Virgo, they could be very pleased with what they see. And what would be surprising to them is that you have more accomplishments than you have ever told people about. You know, Virgos are very talented in a lot of different areas, but their sign rules modesty. They never think they're good enough. That's because they don't think they're perfect. But you know, Virgo, you have a reputation of doing some things in a very excellent way. And people can see that now. Particularly somebody higher up can see that you're very thorough. And so you too could have a hope or a wish come true, as long as you remain reliable and practical, and you don't go overboard or act in a sort of an impulsive way right now. Just steady as you go, Virgo, because somebody's got their eye on you right now. Somebody higher up has got their eye on you right now, and they really like what they see. So you don't have to do anything but keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Libra. This is a time, Libra, when, you know, you have a lot of strength behind you. Now, I didn't say you had the strength. I said it's behind you. And that is because Mars is in Gemini, and it is trining your sun. It's a malefic planet, but it's not hurting you at all. And it's very forceful. And it's in a communication sign, Gemini, so there can be some people that want to communicate with you a whole bunch, particularly young, impatient people. But that's okay, Libra. You have a sort of an easygoing personality. You can sort of put up with that if you want to. And then Saturn in Aquarius is also trining your sun. It too is a malefic planet, but it's direct now in the sign of the future. And so I think that you, Libra, are more able to see a better future for yourself. And like I said, you have a lot of muscle behind you because these two planets are very strong and they mean business and they're benefiting your sign. And so if you have a question or a problem with anything, you need to go ask somebody who's in authority for an answer, because they'll give it to you and they'll be more helpful to you than you realize. And there is also the possibility that someone that you've known for a long time can really be quite willing to back you up now. You know, somebody who's an old friend or somebody that you have just either had a relationship with or have always stayed in touch with. That person is really in your corner, Libra. So I would say good luck on having a hope or a wish or a dream come true. Just don't let those people that are trying to push you into something, don't let them push too hard. As Libras have a sort of easygoing way about them. So just keep going at your own pace, Libra. You don't have to worry. You've got so much muscle behind you. You are going to get what you want. Just make sure that it's making you happy first. You owe it to yourself. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Scorpio. This is a time, Scorpio, since yours is a fixed sign, when there can be a revival in your life somewhere. And, you know, I would look at that as bad news. It's bad news if it involves a matter of justice. You're not going to lose the issue about justice, but there isn't anybody who's going to try to control or dominate or enslave somebody. They could try it, but they're not going to win. But I think if anybody gets in a conflict now, no matter how right they are, there will be no winners. And the thing about a Grand Cross and fixed signs is no one's going to budge. And so it could revive a horrible event like financial collapse that we had in the Depression or a world war. And so, Scorpio, you want to stay away from that, I hope, because there are 4 planets and the water signs, all trining each other, and that is a green light for you to be able to make a hope or a wish, particularly a secret one, come true now. It could. It could come true in a very quiet, gentle way. And that would make you very happy. You would not be thinking about getting mad at anybody. You'd probably be thinking about the wonderful joy of having a dream come true. And that would involve someone else. So Scorpio, you have the Sun and Mercury at the 29th degree of fate in your sign, which means either you are going to give a fateful announcement to somebody, or you're going to get one from them. Either way, there's going to be sort of a vital communication that you will be involved with, or some vital news that you will be involved with, Scorpio. And I think it's pretty well aspected, not from that Grand Cross, but from Jupiter at 29 degrees also in Pisces, conjuncting Neptune, the ruler of the sign in Pisces, and Pisces rules dreams. So since those two planets are retrograde, and Mercury, I think Mercury's direct, it's just at 29 degrees, it simply means that you might have to wait a little bit for the whole dream to come true. But you are probably going to get a word about that. Either there's something that's waiting on a notice from you, and you're going to say it or do it or announce it, or else someone else can be coming forward and allowing a dream to come true in a way that's very inwardly satisfying to you. You know, the kind of thing that something happens and, you don't have much to say because you can feel the goodness inside of you so much. And that would be satisfying because it might be a dream or a hope or a wish that you've had for quite a long time. But it looks like it's on its way. And you would have something to do with it. But so does somebody else. And it's very harmonious and compatible. So I suggest, Scorpio, that if you are around anybody that wants to get in a fight with you, just turn around and walk the other way. Turn your back on them and walk out the door. You're under much better aspects to have something healing going on, and that would be the fact that a hope or a dream can at last come true. But that would be good for you. It may be something that you never told anybody about. Kept it secret. Your sign rules secrets. But it could be something you've been yearning for. So don't get in a fight with anybody, Scorpio. It would take your mind so far away from the joy that's headed your way that don't do that. Somebody wants to fight, let them go do it with somebody else. And you just walk out and close the door. Your happiness counts too. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarian? Sagittarius. Well, congratulations, Sagittarius. Venus just came into your sign. It is at 0 degrees today. That means it's going to be in your sign a long time, Sagittarius. Isn't that nice? Because your birthday's coming up too. And so, Sagittarius, I think that since the moon in Leo is trining your sun where Venus is now, and together they're both trining the sign of Aries, that you can certainly be in the mood to try something new that could make a dream come true for you. Well, why don't you do that? There's also the possibility that you can get some favor or some help from a rather glamorous person, perhaps a glamorous woman, who is in your corner in one way or another, or would be happy to do you a favor. And so that's nice too, Sagittarius. So this week, we at least have 2 planets in the fire signs trining each other, and that's good for all the fire signs. And so the moon won't stay in Leo, but for right now, for today, you could have a really good day, Sagittarius, and keep on going. So if you wanted to try to make a dream come true, I would suggest that you try it. Okay, it doesn't mean you're going to achieve the whole thing right now. And that's because there can be delays. And Mars in Gemini is still opposing your Sun, and Neptune and Jupiter in Pisces are squaring your Sun. Okay, so it's not a perfect world, but it's a better world now than it has been for you in the last, say, month or so, when there weren't any planets and fire signs. So I would say, Sagittarius, just dust off a dream you have, because you might be in a pretty good position. If you can't make it come true, you may know somebody else who might help you with that. And that would be enjoyable for you. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Capricorn. This is a time, Capricorn, when you can be rather sure-footed. And by that I mean you can be very aware of your surroundings. You may have taken stock of your financial records and your bank account in one way or another, and sort of looked things over, and you would be on sure ground. That would be fine. You could be, you can afford certain things, so that would be fine. Capricorns are not lavish at all. They like quality, though, and Capricorn rules antiques. So you could be thinking about making a nice purchase, or you could just be deciding, gee, after the ups and downs that people have had for a couple of years during the pandemic and so on, it's just pretty nice just to be on sure ground. And I think you are, Capricorn. You have to watch out for conditions around you, particularly financial conditions around you. And this may be other companies that you do business with, or it can be just the stores that you go to, or how you spend your money, even at the grocery store. You just have to make sure that you stay on an even keel, because other factors or other entities in your life may be going through ups and downs. And you really don't want to partake in that, Capricorn. Just stay on the sure ground that you have provided for yourself, and sort of tune out everything else, because now that Pluto is direct, it was retrograde for so many months, but now it's direct, and you can be much more sure of yourself, not overconfident or anything, but just very sure of how you feel and what you can afford. And so congratulations, Capricorn. I don't think you need to do much right now, but everybody has a chance to make a hope or a wish or dream come true, and you could too. But you might be just happy to be on solid ground. I mean, that could feel pretty good right now. Congratulations. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius. This is a time, Aquarius, since yours is a fixed sign, that you really have to sort of watch where you walk, Aquarius, because you could bump into people who were very antagonistic, or who are greedy, or who are dangerous, or who want to control you. And that is why you have to be careful. And so, oddly enough, that could be why you can be glad that Saturn is in your sign. Saturn is a very stable planet. You can't knock Saturn over. It's the planet of time. And so you have the moon in Leo opposing your sun today, Aquarius. You have planets in both of the financial signs squaring your sun sign. So Uranus and Taurus is squaring your sun sign, and the sun and Mercury in Scorpio are squaring your sun sign as well. And so these 5 planets that are in the fixed signs represent a revival of something horrifying. And so there's the possibility of it. Okay, so I'm not saying we're going into a depression, but I would say that we are a little closer to some sort of financial collapse than anybody really realizes. And so why would that be? Because of debt. You know, the world is awash in debt. And so are a lot of people around in our country and in other countries. And whole countries are in debt. And I mean, how many people have to be in debt before the bottom falls out? I don't know, but we might be finding that out pretty soon, particularly under the effects of this very harsh grand cross in fixed signs. And so since your sign rules the future, you got to keep your eyes on the future, Aquarius, which you can get a lot of help with because Mars in Gemini is trining your sun. And that is an aggressive, energetic planet. And it's in the sign of communication. So if you have some problems or some questions that you need to get answered, you should go talk to somebody. You'd find plenty of people that would want to talk to you now. And so I wouldn't waste my time in idle chatter, but instead go to whoever you respect a lot to have the right answers, make an appointment, pay them a fee if they want one, and get your questions answered. You know, work on your own behalf right now, Aquarius. Whatever dream you have that you want to make come true, just go at it one step at a time, and you can probably be pretty successful. You have weathered a lot of storms. So now, instead of spending your energy weathering the storms, you need to spend some of your energies just on a hope or a wish that you want to have come true. And so I hope you do that. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Pisces. Well, Pisces, there are 4 planets in the water signs, all trining each other, and 2 of them are in your sign. So Neptune, your own ruler, is in your sign, and it is conjuncting Jupiter at the 29th degree of fate in your sign, and they're both retrograde. So since your sign does rule dreams and creativity, and it simply means, Pisces, that an old dream can come true for you now. And it would be what I would call a delayed dream. And that's because both planets are retrograde. And so something that you wanted to happen before and it didn't, and you kept wanting it to happen and it didn't, I think maybe now it's headed your way, Pisces. And you know, slow down, Pisces, you want to be ready for it, which is good. Because there could also be some more money coming your way since the Sun and Mercury, which is at the 29th degree of fate in Scorpio, are both trining your Sun. So Mercury and Jupiter are in perfect trine to each other because they're both at the 29th degree. And I think that means that there's some good news about money coming your way. And so what kind of money? Well, it might be a raise, but Scorpio rules credit, debt, taxes, loans. It rules insurance proceeds. It rules inheritance, and it rules grants. And so it's more aspected to have good. You're more aspected to have good news about those things, since that's what Scorpio rules. And the planet of news, Mercury, is exactly trine Jupiter in your sign. So I think that there is some good news coming your way, Pisces. And if it allows you to have a dream come true that had been delayed, then you need to just slow down and stand still and thank your lucky stars that something wonderful can be coming your way. And it's also possible that you may want to do something very nice for someone as well. And maybe you were always meaning to do it, but now is a good time to do it, just to show that you care. And, you know, science is wonderful, but I think the best healing comes from one heart to another. So if there's a good heart coming your way, Pisces, I hope you stay around and enjoying that good heart. It'll do you a world of good too. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see our show and read the blog on our website, starborninstitute.org, or I'd be happy to send it to you every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. if you'd like to subscribe to my Karen Campbell YouTube channel. And until then, I'll see you next week. Bye.